Alright, sup people? This your boy John Doe. How y'all doing today, man? And we back. We back with the We Got Game podcast. I know a lot of people been waiting on this here, man. And we have kept y'all waiting long enough. We back with the same usual suspects, Mr. T and Screwface. But I'm gonna go on and let them introduce themselves, and we're gonna jump right on into the topics. Go ahead, Mr. T. Go on and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey fools, how y'all doing? It's Mizzah Tee of the Mizzah Tee Show. Long time no speak.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Screwface.
Say hello to the bad guy. Let's get it in.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna jump right on into these topics. Starting off with the Nintendo revenue sharing program, which everybody has a problem with. And we're gonna let Mr. T start this one off since everybody knows him for being a Wii U fanatic.
All right, thank you for that. And yeah, from a Nintendo side, because I'm gonna approach this from two different ways. Because I feel like Nintendo has a right to their content. I feel like everybody has a right to their content, so that goes for everybody: Sony, Microsoft, whoever. So from a PR standpoint, it's stupid. And I don't have all the facts on it yet, but from what I'm hearing so far, it doesn't sound like a good idea. And again, from a PR standpoint, it's not a good move, because obviously everybody else right now, at least, let you do that kind of stuff, let you, do your let's plays or whatever and whatnot. I will say a lot of the what I feel are excuses are kind of bogus, as far as people saying that they're advertising for Nintendo, they're promoting for Nintendo. That's not why they put those videos up. They want to make that money. So that's let's be real. Let's stop. Yeah, let's stop all the excuses about trying to help Nintendo, because that's not what it's about. And from what I know, at least my own experiences, let's plays don't really help as far as getting at least the major titles that people want to let's play and that Nintendo wants to hold back on. It doesn't really help getting the name out or advertising for those games, because the let's play is not helping Mario Kart 8 sell. Let's just be honest. Yes, let's plays help the smaller games sell, like indies and whatnot. But for the bigger games, at least from what I see, they're not really adding to the sales. But anyway, again, like I said, from a content creator's point of view, and this is not YouTube videos. I'm talking about what I do for my career. I've shot commercials, I've edited, done things of that nature. I've done advertising from companies, and how I want to say this, content belongs to that creator, belongs to that company. They can do whatever they want to with it. That goes for movies, music, whatever. They have the right to their content, and there obviously are ways that you can still, because I make Nintendo videos and whatnot, and I don't get the flags or whatever from them. There's ways you can get around it, but as far as let's plays go, I feel like they have a right to that, because you're giving away the game to an extent. You're giving away. There's people who make the music. They pay all these people, and you're giving that stuff away, and you're getting paid for it on top of it. And to me, that's not ethical. It's not right to be able to do that. So again, from a PR standpoint, I understand what people say. It doesn't look good for them. They probably can do some things to make it better. But for me, the content creator always has all the rights to their work. And that's how I feel about it. Right.
Go ahead, Screwface.
Well, if I have actually posted a video about this already, if you guys want to check it out on my channel, but I don't have any problem with it. I think I understand the PR side of it, because they're the first ones to really do it, but somebody had to be first, so why not Nintendo? But I don't have a problem with it, because everybody should be able to protect their own content, their own likeness, their own whatever it is that they created. It doesn't make any sense to me why people cried about this, and then for example, said that DRM was okay because the money would go back to the developers. So GameStop couldn't resell a game to you in a store and keep all the money. Now, obviously, it's kind of different, but at the same time, it's the same thing. You're selling someone's likeness, and you're not giving them their cut. So, to me, it's the same thing, because if you make a video using Nintendo's products, or anyone's products for that matter, and they're not getting a cut of that, I mean, to me, that's the same thing. So, I mean, it'd be like going and open up a burger joint and selling Big Macs and advertising it as Big Macs. McDonald's ain't gonna let you do that shit.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I just see the video where a dude got arrested for selling fake Tide. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you can't do that. So, I mean, I just think people. Well, I'm just saying, like, I just think people hate on it because it's Nintendo and the PR side of it. They're the first ones to do it. I think if they have success with it, and it works out, I could see Microsoft and everybody else following suit, because everybody wants to make money. So when that happens, I wonder, where is everybody going to come out of the woodwork and say all them is wrong, or is it all of a sudden going to become the industry standard?
And it's like this, you know, because I was watching the video, and I think Mizzah Tee is the one who put me on to it, because I was following him on Twitter, and he liked the video. And the dude, he broke it down perfectly. He say, well, say if you did a movie, like you put up a whole movie, you get what I'm saying, and during the movie, you would throw out little, you know, your own little words into it, you know what I'm saying, to make it the scene seem funny or whatever. Like, oh, no, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? Would they let you do that? Hell no, you know what I'm saying? He said, well, you put up a whole basketball game, you know what I'm saying? And every time somebody make a three, you go swish. You know what I'm saying? Or he drained it or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could you do that? They'd be like, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You talked about Sean Long from Nintendo Enthusiast.
Yes.
Shout out to him. That was a great video.
Yes. Or he even went so far as saying, you put up somebody a whole song. You get what I'm saying? And you just ad-lib through the whole song along with them. You get what I'm saying? Would that be okay? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? None of that would be okay. Like he said, with gaming, it was the wild, wild west. And he said people jumped on it early, made a lot of money, and made careers. And now that the money is going to stop, and see, this the crazy part about it, is they're not stopping the money. They still allowing people to make. Cut. Yeah, they just want their cut. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, okay, well, GameStop killing gaming, you get what I'm saying? Because they're not giving the devs their cut. You get what I'm saying? This the same thing, because you playing whole game, so people ain't got to go out and buy it. You get what I'm saying? They can just watch you play it from beginning to end. Now, shit, I done got my feel. I don't need to go out and buy the game now. I done seen how it ends. You get what I'm saying? That's like a movie.
Yeah, especially the movie-like games. Especially with it. You give the story away.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to play it after that.
So, when it comes
I don't understand it. I mean, I watch YouTubers on a daily basis. You know, that's why I made the rant that I made about it, was because this YouTuber that I watched, in a matter of like 3 or 4 videos apart from each other, on one side he said that Nintendo was completely wrong for this because as a YouTube channel creator, that's your content that you created and took the time to edit it and put your voice over it and talk about it. That was wrong for them to take that money from you, but then turned around and said that it was wrong, but it wasn't wrong for DRM because that would help the developers so these gaming companies wouldn't go down. I'm like, that it's the same thing, you know? I don't understand that hypocrisy. I honestly think it's just because it's Nintendo. If Microsoft or Sony would have done it first, I still think there would have been a PR a lashing for it. But at the same time, I think it's escalated because it's Nintendo, and that's the favorite company that everyone loves to hate.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We live in a digital world with the internet, and because of that, people feel like they're entitled to certain stuff.
Yeah,
you know, because
it's a lot easier to get it.
Right, so they feel like they're entitled, but you're not. I'm sorry. These are people's intellectual properties. It belongs to them. They, you know, if you don't believe me, read that little pamphlet inside the software when you buy it. It'll tell you that same thing.
So, I used to go to this check cashier's place, and they used to sell bootleg DVDs. Shit still be. Just sit in the theater, man. I'll be like, they like new movies. They ain't even on DVD yet.
Right.
I'll be buying them for like $3-4 a piece. They ain't got them no more because somebody busted their ass.
And guess what? The feds go
Can't do
around
that.
and shut their ass down all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
You get what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no
It's
local
funny
police. The
It's
feds come
funny
and get them.
because they used to set it by the window, and when you come in, like to get your check cash or whatever, it would be right by the window. So if somebody pulled up that was suspect, they would grab it and pull it inside.
Dude, and that has went on over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Dude, people have ate greatly off of this here. And like, okay, with you eating and you get your popularity. Now, it'll be different. Now, if we said they were reviewing, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't show them full lengths of the game, you know what I'm saying? They'll show a part here, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what they're talking about, and a part here to what they're talking about, you know what I'm saying? And reviewing the game would be different than them showing like the whole entire game. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what reviewers do. But you sitting there doing less plays and showing full games, that's completely different. Now,
I mean, part 1 through 30, the whole damn game.
Exactly.
Now, movies, you know what I'm saying? You can do that with movies. You can do that with music. And you can do that, you know what I'm saying, with games. If you want to review them. That's different than going out and showing whole complete parts of a game. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different. Anything else we want to add to this?
I'm good.
Nah,
I said
set
my
my
piece.
piece on that.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good on that. But I think we all
Covered
in
that.
agreement. I think we all in agreement. You know, I'm a Nintendo. Well, I'm a Zelda dude. I ain't even. Y'all do.
Careful now. Careful.
Hey,
Don't give the people too much.
Hey, well, hey, you know I love Zelda, man. Everybody know I love Zelda. That ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Zelda. But I ain't gonna say I'm gun-ho for Nintendo like y'all because I feel Nintendo have lost their way in some cases. But we gonna speak on one of those cases coming up right now. You know what I'm saying? And that Nintendo and this whole party chat aspect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let you go ahead and start off with this here, Screwface. Let me know how you feel about Nintendo in the party chat situation.
Once again, I did make a video about it. Go check it out. I'm kind of, trying to promote myself. But I understand that Microsoft made party chat, in-game chat, cross-game chat. They made that standard. I understand it. My whole thing is I don't agree with the people that say, I'm not going to buy the game and support it because it don't have, in-game party chat or whatever. Like, that's stupid to me. If the game is good, you don't have to have that. However, a game like Splatoon where you're playing the game with other people, it would definitely help. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, to communicate, dude respawning over here or dude over there up the stairs, or, you know what I'm saying? Communicate because it's a strategic game with a team. So I think the Nintendo failed, and we still don't know for sure. I mean, I've read, they said they confirmed that the translation was accurate. So I guess my fanboyism is holding out, hoping that that's not true still, even though they said they confirmed it. But I think that they need to add a party chat system, cross game chat system, and then they don't have to worry about what games they put it on and what games they don't. You know what I'm saying? And that would eliminate it completely. I don't. At the same time, though, I also kind of have the other stance is that do we really need game chat or party chat or whatever to play a game? I mean, at the end of the day, we're supposed to be gamers and we're supposed to play games to play games. We're not supposed to play games to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk to people, you can use Skype or Google Hangout or your telephone, or there's all types of ways to speak to people. So, I mean, on one hand, I think that it should be in there and it's Nintendo's fault for not making it. But at the same time, I don't think that should hinder the gameplay. And so to me, it's kind of like is it a standard to who? You know what I'm saying? For me personally, I don't have to have it. If it's not there, I'll find other ways to talk. I don't feel like I should have to do that, but I'm okay with it for a good game. You know what I'm saying? I think Splatoon is going to be a good game. I'm going to get it. I'm going to enjoy it, whether they put the party chat in there or not. So I might be a little biased, but I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I see both sides of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. T.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach this from my taste and then just general what they should do. Um, my taste is and then I have a video or two on this too. One's called "If I Were Nintendo," basically saying what I would do, to rectify some of these problems that they have. And one was the was cross game chat. And in that video, I said they should have cross game chat, but I think the problem is the cost. I think that's what it is. And so what I said in the video, they should have a premium service for Nintendo Network that you can have cross game chat and all that stuff, and then have the free service. Because I feel like Nintendo just doesn't want to charge for online. They don't want another fee for that.
That's
But
a good point.
I think they just want to. I think what they should do is give an option. Don't force people to pay online, and if they want all those features, because even when Microsoft did it, they were charging. So this is obviously something that costs them money to implement. So Nintendo should offer cross game chat as a bonus feature that you have to pay more. You have to pay for $10 a year, whatever, just for that feature. And from my stance, I don't like I said in a few videos, cross game chat and all that stuff doesn't matter to me because I don't play games to chat with people. I have plenty of software for that. When I do, we're using it right now. So for me, it doesn't matter. But I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for fans who want this kind of stuff. They should be able to have it at this point. I mean, it is 20. You've heard it before. This is 2015. We ain't got this. We ain't got so
it's the industry standard.
There's some validity to that. I mean, it's not. You can't just brush that off. There's some truth to that. So
cell phones got it, tablets
right.
got it. You get what I'm
a lot of
saying?
things have had it for a long time.
Exactly.
So for me, even if it does have it, I have an Xbox One. I have a 360. I rarely ever used the chat features. That's just something I really never did. And I think the translation says for randoms. It's not. So it still could be where you can talk to your friends and your team or whatever. You just can't talk to randoms. And I think that's what it is. Until we get a confirmation from the horse's mouth, I'm kind of trying to hold back. A lot of and the Nintendo community has gone wild already. So me throwing a video out there doesn't make sense, especially when we don't have all the information yet. So I'm kind of holding back on that. But a lot of guys have been saying they should offer a paid service for these types of things going forward, so they won't have this problem. If you just give cross game chat, all that chat nonsense is out the window. Nobody cares about it anymore. It won't be talked about because you have that feature out there, and you can still offer online services for free for the base minimum stuff that we have now. So that's the way they should go, I think.
That's a good idea.
I agree with it. Like you can have them sign a waiver. Like if we paying this fee and we put in our information, like I think the dude Bites put out there. He put out a real good video about this.
Oh yeah, Twilight Bites, yeah.
Yeah, Twilight Bites. And he said, just have them sign a release. If they sign this release, then they can talk to anybody online. And it gets rid of everything. You feel me? And if they give a party chat, they don't have to worry about doing individual games having in-game chat. You get what I'm saying? Even though it would be nice, but you don't necessarily have to, because when people party chat, they usually want to party chat with the people who they dealing with. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
They don't really care about, like, when I'm playing the game online, shoot, I don't really be talking to the people I'm going against on Call of Duty. I sit in there and conversate with whoever I'm cool with.
Right.
So the cross-game chat isn't a real big issue. You know what I'm saying? I like to conversate and play my games with my friends or whatever. So that's like a big thing for me. But when it come down to Nintendo, because Nintendo, they'll have a game and they'll give you game chat, and then the next game they won't give it to you. Like I know they put it in Mario Kart on a limited basis. Did they put it in Smash Brothers? I don't know if they got it in Smash.
Yeah, it's in Smash in the lobby. They're both terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not great at all.
No.
See,
Like what I don't understand is why would you want to? Okay, you can talk to random people in the lobby, but when you go in the game, you can't talk to them. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I guess they don't want you trash talking 5 or 6 year old. You get what I'm saying?
See, I don't even think that's the case because
But you
we
can
have a
talk trash in the lobby though. That's the
right.
thing. That's
You can talk trash in the lobby, and we have this thing on Wii U called Wii U Chat, where you can get in somebody's house. You can see it's like a Google Hangout 1-on-1. So they're not trying. I don't know if this. I don't think this is a protective thing. I think it's just Nintendo. They're just not all on the same page. There's different levels of Nintendo, and
it might be the money
Japan
though.
is
That was a
different.
really good point.
Right.
Yeah,
I think it's a money thing. I think they just don't want to charge for that, and they know they have to in order to implement that because it costs money.
Right.
Microsoft's been doing it from the
that's their
beginning.
niche right now. It's
Right.
free.
Maybe they just like something that went on with like when they came out and they say they didn't know how hard it would be to do HD games. Maybe they just don't know how to do it. Well, a lot of people haven't thought about that. They have never done this on any of their consoles before.
But that don't make sense because we have Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate that has complete chat throughout the whole thing. I mean, no problem.
What did you say?
We had chat on
Monster
Nintendo
Hunter,
DS.
Monster Hunter is made by Cap.
Okay, but listen to me. We had chat on Nintendo DS on Metroid Prime Hunters. Okay, we had chat on that. We've got chat on other games on 3DS that are Nintendo games. So this is what I'm saying. This has to do a lot with and then Nintendo's merging their handheld software division and their console software division. So some of this stuff can be cleared up through that because obviously these dudes are working on 2 different wavelengths. One's doing something on the 3DS that it should be done on console too. There's party chat on consoles or on the handhelds, and they don't have it on 3DS. So it doesn't make sense that's happening. So like I said, I think it's a structure thing where Nintendo's.
So the handheld got a party chat function on
not
it?
Party chat. I'm sorry. It has voice chat. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, man, that'd be totally crazy. You know what I'm saying? You can do party chat on the handheld, but can't do it on the console.
Right. So it's not that the system can't do it because it can't do it. There's games that do it. Even if it's not Nintendo games on Wii U, they still know how to do it. So that even that's not an excuse. They should be able to do it. If a third party company like Capcom, who damn near broke, can do it, Nintendo should be able to do it too on their own console. So I think it's just it's a philosophy thing. I think it's a money thing. They don't want to charge for it. Or they don't want to pay for it. So they just have to rectify that by charging people for it for a premium.
My whole thing with the whole situation is they're not progressing toward it. You get what I'm saying? Like they sprinkle a little bit over here, give you a little bit over here, but it's all been poorly done from what y'all been telling me. On the Wii U or whatever.
It has been poorly done, but I would say Nintendo does bounce to the beat of their own drum. I think Nintendo is one of them companies that people. This might be the fanboyism coming out in me, but I don't think people should sleep on Nintendo because I think if Nintendo goes to the route of what Mizzah Tee was talking about as far as implementing a service, I think that they'll make sure that it's cheaper than the other ones just so they can have that niche because right now it's free. I think that whatever their next console is, whenever they decide to drop it, I think it's going to have all these things that we're screaming about completely standard, and I think it's going to blow a lot of people away. I think it's going to be a really nice system.
Like
I know it's like 2-3 years. I know it's a couple years down the road. I'm just saying, Nintendo's one of them companies. Like I think they're testing everything with this Wii U. Really, I think they slapped the Wii U on there to live off of the hype of the Wii. They thought that would help. Okay. They were innovative with the gamepad controller, and a lot of people was negative about it. A lot of people don't like it, but I think they're taking a step. They're trying all these, like you said, how they're sprinkling a little bit of it there. One game they'll give it to you, one game they don't. I think they're really trying to test it so they can figure out moving forward beyond this console, what are we going to do? And I think that's why they merged the 3DS and the handheld and the console market together. I think they're trying to get all their heads together to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully some of it starts to get implemented on the Wii U, but I definitely think whatever the next thing coming is, I hope anyway, my fanboy side hopes that
Okay,
it
I
blows
got a
everybody
question for
away.
you. I got a question to go with what you were saying, and
Yeah,
this is a real question because we all know, like we know, it was poorly done in Mario Kart. It was poorly done in Smash Brothers, and from what I'm seeing, Splatoon gonna have the same lobby chat function or whatever. Okay,
yeah,
think about it like this, huh? Games is usually made like years out. You get like they ain't just popping up today and making these games. Like
right.
Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, they probably was already in development when the Wii U was about to drop or prior to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Could it be that the reason why they ain't got like full voice chat capabilities like a Monster Hunter, which was made by Capcom, who used to doing, you know, in-game chat, that when they made those games that they wasn't even thinking about putting voice chat in it, but they seen such a big outcry that they went back and did as much as they could with the coding at the last minute. That's the reason why you got like the poorly implemented voice chat. Did y'all ever think about that?
No, I
yeah,
mean,
that's true. It's possible.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's always for Nintendo's philosophy. That is a extra. You know,
Exactly.
online
That's what I'm
online
saying.
multiplayer,
exactly.
online chat, all that stuff is extra. Their main focus is making a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Then if they
Hmm.
have time left over at the end, they'll do that. You can see like you can even see that in Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers uh, released without the tournament mode,
Yeah.
um, and now that still hasn't come out yet. But I mean, you already still have a full game. You still have a more than full game if you ask me. Um,
Yeah.
that you can still go on. You can still go online. You do your battles and whatnot. But this is the tournament thing is something extra
But
that they
but,
did.
but 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 could what I say be valid? You know that
Oh yeah, I
that
think
they
it's
go
definitely
they
Oh yeah,
valid.
going back and forcing voice chat. We're trying to give something to appease the masses. Could that be true?
I don't even think they're
Yeah.
trying to appease the masses. I just think, oh, we have a little extra time, we have a little extra budget. Let's go ahead and do this thing that a lot of gamers seem to like. I just feel like that's probably how they approach it.
Because
Um,
because
but
they did go back with Mario Kart and say, well, we gonna, you know what I'm saying, like, because everybody was really tripping about that and going off about it not having voice chat, and they actually put out a statement saying, well, we're gonna put voice chat in it, and that's when you got the lobby thing. And the same thing
Mm.
with Splatoon, they put out when said, well, we never said we wasn't gonna have it. Well, we're gonna have it in like the lobbies again. So
Yeah.
they are addressing people saying something about it not having voice chat. They'll do
yeah,
it.
if you're a Nintendo fan and you're in Club Nintendo, you can do all this other stuff. They send us surveys all the time about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So this is stuff that they're thinking about it. It's not like they're not thinking about it. You got to fill those surveys out. You got to let them
Yeah.
know that way. And I fully believe that the next system will be fully capable of all this stuff. This will not be an issue next generation for Nintendo. I believe.
Yeah.
I could be
I
wrong,
do too.
obviously, but I really believe that this, like Screw was saying, this Wii U is a blueprint console. They're basically testing the waters with the Wii U, and they're gonna go, full on, next generation.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
I think they're trying to, like I said, they have to figure out, like y'all said about them never making games in HD, stuff like that. I mean, they just have never. What they're experiencing right now with the Wii U, on top of adding the gamepad controller and all these other things that they put with the Wii U, besides that alone, they're learning as they go.
Yeah.
And the thing with Nintendo is, they're unique. They're in their own niche, their own lane. They got money to spend. It ain't like they don't have money. You know what I'm saying? They get their money's long. So, but this is all that they do. So that's kind of the flip side of it. And I understand people in the community are like, why is this not implemented? What is wrong with Nintendo? Because that's all they do is video games. They're not like Sony and Microsoft where they got their hands in other things. So you would think that they would
Man,
be.
Nintendo got their hand in a lot of stuff. Don't they? Don't get that twisted now.
You
Yeah.
would think they would be. Well, they do have a baseball team. I'm just saying, like, pretty much all their money comes from gaming. So it's like they should be. You would think they would be the industry standard, and
Yeah.
there's been times where they have been. And
Yeah.
and the thing is that everything goes in cycles. If you guys haven't seen Mr. T's video about the evolution revolution, you need to check that out because that's what I think is fixing. That's why I said that earlier, and I think Mr. T agrees with me that obviously because of his video that's what the Wii U is building towards, is that next, that's going to have all this stuff that we complaining about. It won't matter no more because they're going to have it.
They're the industry standard when it comes down to making complete games. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They're the only console that put out a game when it's ready. Not when it's half done. And
Yeah.
bring out patches.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at, they are building towards it because you look at the people they're hiring. Nintendo's doing a lot of hiring. They've been doing it for the last year, and a lot of it has to do with these fields. The net. I don't know what it's called, but net building and whatnot. They've been hiring in these technologies, so they're ramping up. It's just because the Wii is what hampered them. Because they were so successful, doing their thing their own way. The Wii, they got a little big head with the Wii, and they were like, all right, we did it our way, and we succeeded. And so they didn't do things that everybody else was doing. I mean, not just the HD, but obviously the online capabilities and stuff. So, but like I said, I feel like my video talks about there being a revolutionary cycle and an evolutionary cycle. The Wii was the revolution. Wii U was the evolution. So you're going to get, you get those motion controls, and we'll throw in a touchscreen gamepad for you to do some touchscreen stuff too. And the next system will be their revolution. It'll be their full on. That's how I feel, from what I've seen in their history. So.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Well, with that being said, anybody want to add anything else on this before we move on?
No, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to the big elephant in the room. Oh, yes. The big elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? It's sitting right there just waiting on us to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's Sony going broke, man. And I'm going to let Mr. T, because your thoughts about this situation was real good when we started talking about the topics or whatever. So I'm going to let Mr. T head this one off. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come in after him.
Yeah. Well, basically this is sparked from their latest sale, which is Sony Online Entertainment. That company, I guess that brand hasn't done well for a while, and they're letting it go, kind of like the Vio, and kind of like what they need to do with TVs. But a lot of people think, right? A lot of people think that the PlayStation brand is going to prop up Sony, and it's just not the case. I mean, Sony is a huge conglomerate, and even though the PlayStation brand is profiting, you got to realize it's profiting from a hole because that PS3 put them in. Mm-hmm. And I think I want to say PS3 started making money, 2011, somewhere around there.
It's late.
But they were already billions in the hole, and then that's shown through somewhat the losses. Most of the losses seem to be coming from the TVs and movies and music. But that's just the thing right there. PlayStation brand is not going to prop up the losses in TV and losses in music, even though they're making a little bit of money on the console right now. We don't even really know how much they're making on it. But it can't be that much. People have done parts pricing and whatnot, and they added it all up and all that stuff, and it wasn't much. I think the most I've seen was like $6 or $7 per console. But that's good that they're out of that hole of losing money on the console. But on the software side, they don't have much people left. They have Naughty Dog, and they let a lot of people go from Naughty Dog, especially the Uncharted crew. They're a shell of what they used to be. And like I said, Sony's PlayStation being that it's profitable, and a business would say, okay, we have this profitable thing. And a lot of people see that, that obviously it's a very popular console, selling really well. This is the time to sell that console because, one, they're not making much money on it. Two, it'll be more valuable to sell at this point. And, that's the way a business thinks about it. If you know anything about venture capitalism, that's what they do. But there's a side of it that, builds up the debt and sells off the company. But there's also they restructure and they make these businesses viable, and then they sell them off. And that's what, from what I see, and I'm not an expert here. That's what Sony would be thinking, and it's only because I'm only feeling that way because if they cared about PlayStation brand, they were going to keep it in for years to come, whatnot. They would be hiring more software people, not firing them. Because these are the people that are gonna, first party is what makes your game console unique. Especially if you're a Sony or Microsoft. The first party is what's going to differentiate you between those two. So if you're not putting more money and investment in first party, then you're not. It doesn't seem like you're putting any value in that company going forward or in that brand going forward. And like I said, they know that it's popular, and they know that right now they would make a few $1 billion off of the PlayStation brand if they were to sell. It'd be better to do that, now or closer to now than it would be when they're just basically falling apart from all this other stuff, and they're trying to recoup losses from movies and whatnot. So. Do I want it to happen? No, I've never wanted. Competition is always better for the industry. Yoshida himself will tell you that.
It just seems inevitable, huh?
It's just inevitable. You can't lose. You can't go from $110 billion company to a $16 billion company in 10 years and think everything's going to be all right. It just doesn't work that way.
And they still in the red right now.
And they're still in the red, and they're still reporting losses. They were supposed to be profitable by now, as far as, Kutaragi. I'm not Kutaragi. What's the head guy? I can't think of his name right now.
Yoshida?
No, not Yoshida. I said Kutaragi. He's not there anymore. Their president. I can't think of it. It doesn't matter. He said by now they would be profitable, and that's just not the case. So, with them letting go that other guy, what's his name? Jack Tretton? Mm-hmm. That's his name? I mean, that was huge to me. That said a lot. They let the guy go who was pretty instrumental in their best years. And, that says a lot to me.
Sure, he was instrumental in this whole boom they had
exactly.
with PlayStation 4.
Exactly.
They probably wouldn't have sold him in the console.
He was really good during that, So to let him go, and then you see all these companies going, their software companies going, that's worrisome to me. So that's my take.
Go ahead, Screw.
Well, I mean, Yoshida already said, the days of making, what do you say, 9 or 10 games.
Yeah.
And then having the 1 or 2 successful ones pay for themselves and the loss for all the other ones that didn't sell are over. And that's pretty obvious because, they let this company go and these were all first party games. So, that's pretty obvious that that's not going to be the case. He also, they talked about, indies, about how he doesn't understand why people don't like indie games and all that type of stuff. I don't want PlayStation to go away. You know what I'm saying? And I guess if they sold it and someone else bought it and continued it on, I guess it would still be the same, but it wouldn't really be the same. So, I don't want it to sell. I hope that all this stuff isn't true, but at the same time, when you look at it, because we were talking about this the other night, and y'all kind of jumped on me because I said, that I didn't think that I to me, if I was running, and see that's the thing, it's my opinion. It doesn't really matter or hold water, but in my opinion, if it was me, I would start cutting the movie studios and the music studios that's losing money and focus on PlayStation. And I know that PlayStation can't carry all of that shit, but if you start cutting down all of that shit, then everything eventually, in theory, should level out. But they're so in the hole in all the other things that they're dipped into that there's no one thing in their company that can bail out the other one. Movies can't help PlayStation or music. Music can't help, movies and PlayStation, etc. So, I think their company as a whole, and we've seen that they've laid off jobs, they've cut, gaming companies, they've cut, other things that they have had their hand into. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're honestly trying to cut so much stuff down that they can still be Sony and still have their hands dipped in all this stuff. And I think they're kind of wanting their cake and wanting to eat it too. And I think it's going to end up biting them in the end. I hope that's not the case as far as the PlayStation is concerned. I could care less about the movies or the music or anything else that they're involved with. But because I like the PlayStation brand, I didn't like it last gen. I didn't care much for the PlayStation 3, like I spoke about in my video today. But as a whole, I like the PlayStation brand. There's a lot of games that they put out that I like, and I don't want them to go away. And the thing is, too, if they do, what's going to happen to just because they sell the PlayStation doesn't mean that all of the first-party gaming developers is going to go with whoever buys it. So you could have your God of Wars and Little Big Planets and stuff like that, and so on, being made and sold as multiplats or becoming exclusives for Nintendo or Microsoft or whatever. So I don't really want to see that either. But at the same time, obviously, I'm a God of War fan, so I wouldn't really care at the end of the day what it come out on. I'd probably still buy it. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't want them to go away, but at the same time, I can see where it's kind of heading that way. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. But like I was saying earlier, or when we had the conversation, the writing been on the wall for a while. When they reported the one, I think 1.1 billion or something like that, though, and they shut down all the Sony stores or whatever. Right there, you could see it was something wrong. But the PlayStation fans, they just they play dumb to the fact. Well, it's not affecting us, so we ain't got to worry about it. That's the movies, that's the TV, that's the cameras, that's the computers. That's on the other side. So we ain't worrying about that because that's not going to affect us. You feel me? But money is money. Sony is one company. You get what I'm saying? With a whole bunch of different moving parts in that company. So if the TVs over here ain't making no money, they're gonna have to make up that money from somewhere. You get what I'm saying? And if you got the PlayStation over here making the money, then they're going to have to take from PlayStation to put over there to fill in, you know what I'm saying? Because there's still people that need to be paid, still line, you know what I'm saying? Pockets that need to be lined. You feel me?
Right. Yep.
They still going to have to pay people. You know what I'm saying? They got to pay to keep the lights on. And eventually, that's where you're going to see the fallout. And with the PlayStation being one of the only real parts that they're actually making money off of right now, in order for them to keep themselves afloat, and they're gonna have to sell stuff. And and what do they got to sell that's gonna bring them in the most revenue? The PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? The PlayStation brand, that would bring them in the most revenue, because at the end of the day, they still want to stay Sony, I would think. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. And you got to remember, like, a lot of people don't understand this. They don't, for whatever reason, they just don't get it. I can understand to some degree, but even though PlayStation, the original PlayStation, sold 100 million consoles, they still were losing money on those consoles. And same goes for especially PS2. A lot of people don't know. In 2000, when the PlayStation came out, a DVD player was damn near $600. And here they are selling the PS3 with DVD player in it for $300. They were losing hand over fist with that PS3 implementing that. Any other company would have been dead by the second year of PlayStation 3. But because they could pull money from the movies and the music and all that stuff, they were able to survive.
Yeah, they're robbing Peter to pay Paul in every department.
Right? Now they can't do that anymore. So that's why you should worry about a PlayStation brand, because of that. They're used to being able to prop it up from the other parts doing so well. So now that they can't do that, you're gonna tell me PlayStation's gonna turn around and put money into the movies pocket? No, they can't do it. They can't afford to do that. So that's why I'm worried about it. No, I don't want this to happen. I hope nobody would want that to happen. But we're just trying to put some reality into it.
Well, in a perfect world, as a gamer, you would want Sony to just be like, fuck it, we're gonna sell off Michael Jackson's catalog, we're gonna sell the music, the movies, everything, and we just gonna be PlayStation. As a gamer, I would like that, but there's no way. There's too much money and too many hands dipped in cookie jars for that to happen.
And they
it would take a long time.
Sony. You get what I'm saying? They
exactly.
Still stay Sony.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would do that. But as a gamer, I would like for them to. But
Yeah, they got all types of real estate out there. Like their money is somewhere everywhere. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
here's a. Oh my
oh,
bad.
go
No, I
ahead, go
just
ahead.
want to say the thing about you people worried about PlayStation going to somebody else. Um, I mean, would it be like would it really be that much different? Say if an Amazon or somebody picked it up or a Samsung, because again, what gives PlayStation its identity is its first party, and a lot of that isn't there right now. So, wouldn't a company that has the money to prop up these first party software studios be better for PlayStation?
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
least
if they can keep them
And,
all there,
and hold
absolutely.
on. As a matter of fact, that's another point that I want to put in there. Like a lot of people was like, well, God of War and Uncharted, they're gonna stay with the PlayStation. If they sell off the PlayStation, they're not gonna sell off these studios with the PlayStation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
they're
will
going to be
sell.
up to fend for themselves.
Yeah, they was no. Most likely they will sell off the PlayStation. You get what I'm saying? And you know how Sega kept their games. You get what I'm saying? They would
Yeah.
keep their games and just make them multiplats. You feel me? Remember, Sonic was
Yeah.
just on Sega back in the day. It was a bunch of just exclusive for Sega. You know what I'm saying? But when Sega went belly up, those games went multiplat. You feel me?
Hmm.
And if they sell off the PlayStation console, those games that they got, those Uncharted, the God of Wars, whatever, Infamous, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on. They're gonna go to the other consoles like Nintendo, Microsoft, whatever other console come out at that time. You get what I'm saying? And wherever the PlayStation goes, they're gonna have to realign themselves with other first party studios. You know what I'm saying? But they might be able to buy some of the IPs, but a lot of them probably won't go. You get what I'm saying? They might
Yeah, I
keep
mean,
some
in a
of them in
perfect
house.
world, in a perfect world, if Amazon or whoever bought the PlayStation brand, if they were able to buy all those first party IPs that we've come accustomed to being on PlayStation, I think that would be cool. But I don't know if I would like all of them being dispersed to everything. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
I'd feel about that. I mean, me personally, anyway.
I don't
I mean,
think
if they came to
nobody want
Nintendo,
that.
it'd be all right, But
Yeah. Anything else we want to add on this topic right here? You know.
Nah, I don't want to get too many people upset.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, they coming. They are
yeah,
coming.
we don't want ourselves to start popping.
But I just really want people to understand the situation they have because I honestly like they gaming. You know what I'm saying? They enjoying themselves and they don't notice that the sky is really falling right now. You get what I'm saying? I understand you like Sony, but y'all not understanding that Sony is going belly up slowly but surely. And I'm not an accountant. You know what I'm saying? I'm not following the money. You know, but the losses that you see them taking, they can't take those losses and continue to be the
Yeah,
company that they
can't
were.
take it
They
forever.
was. Yeah. You know.
Can't keep writing checks you can't cash.
Exactly. When those checks start bouncing, it's a problem. You get what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
saying?
You can only rob Peter to pay Paul so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because Peter gonna run out of money.
And that's exactly what's happening. Peter running out of money, so they selling the shirt off their back right now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I
All
got
right.
these cheeseburgers, man. I got these cheeseburgers.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the last topic that we got, and that's E3 thoughts. When is E3? Dang, I didn't forget when E3. Is it
I think it's
April?
in like June. Ain't it
June,
in June?
It's June. Okay. Okay.
early June, yeah, first
Okay.
week.
We got we're a couple of months away. I want to get you guys thoughts on what do y'all what are y'all looking for this year at E3? Go ahead, Screwface. I'm gonna start off with Screw on this one.
Well, from Nintendo, I want to see Star Fox. Um, unless it's out before then.
You truly becoming a weirdo, I tell you, man. Slowly
And
but surely.
I've been a weirdo.
Slowly but surely, my friend.
Um,
Go ahead.
I want to see a Star Fox. I want to see more about Zelda, obviously.
Oh man, I want to
Um,
see that too.
I want to see.
Continue on.
Okay, I want to see. I'm trying to think about this. PlayStation wise, I'd like to see a new God of War announced. Um, there's, I don't know, man. E3 so a little far away from me. Basically, just like all the games that's coming out, you know, after E3 or stuff like that. I want to see. I want to see more of them, and obviously, another thing I'd like to see too is Nintendo just recently got rid of their Nintendo Club or Club Nintendo. So I'm hoping, because right around, well, I think E3 is at the beginning of June, but the program is at the end of June. But I would imagine at E3 they're going to announce, if they don't before then, however their new loyalty program or whatever they're going to call it is going to work. So I'm interested to see how that's going to be. Yeah, man. I mean, I want to see next gen. If you watched my video today, I spoke about that, about my opinion. The Xbox One hasn't given us next gen yet, and how I was disappointed so far with it. I want to see next gen from all these consoles. Like, I'm ready for that, and there's a few games coming out this year that hopefully will give us that. So I'm excited about finally actually getting into this generation, because I really don't feel like this year each console is dropping some games that's finally getting us into this generation and leaving last generation behind. So that's what I want to see. I want to be blown away with all the next gen experience that we should have. That's basically it for me.
I guess I'll give mine.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. T.
Go ahead, Mr. T. Mr. T.
I'll start with Sony first. From E3, I'm hoping they give me a reason to buy a PlayStation 4 because they haven't done that yet. And I'm a fan of Uncharted, so that might be the game. And it depends on the quality of that game, because Uncharted 3 was a step down in my book, and if Uncharted 4 is a step down from that, then that ain't gonna do it. So I just want to hear more about their first party IPs, because that's why I buy consoles. I buy consoles for the exclusive first party stuff. I'll pick up a third party game here and there if it's good, but I buy a console based on that. So that's what I'm looking for from them. Microsoft, obviously, I already have the Xbox One. I just want to see more about their first party content. And, there's a lot of good games coming out this year, seems like. I'm looking forward to Platinum Games Scalebound. I want to see more on that. I haven't seen, all we got really was a CG trailer. So I'd like to see some gameplay on that.
Man, you took my answer, man. I'm looking forward to seeing some Scalebound, man. I want to see what that game is really about. Go ahead.
I wasn't interested at all in Quantum Break, but it's kind of growing on me. So I want to see that and when it's coming out, like a release date on that. And I'm hoping 343 can get it together with Halo 5, because if the Master Chief Collection is any indication of what they can do, then I'm a little worried. So the Master Chief games, the Halo 1 through 4, all those games are good, but the online is not very good. It's still broken. It doesn't make sense at this point, so it makes me a little worried about Halo 5 in that aspect. So and as far as Nintendo goes, I just want to know what's up with 2016. Like, I'm pretty happy with 2015. What's coming out?
Man, 2015 has been a golden year for y'all.
It's looking real good over here. So I want to hear about a Metroid in the works. I want to hear about Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. We haven't heard anything on that game in 2 years, so I want to hear about that. Obviously, we're getting Star Fox. What's that?
Kid Icarus?
No, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
Oh
yeah, I would love to see a Kid Icarus console game, because the 3DS one was awesome, and that was a console game as far as I'm concerned. That should have been like a Wii U game, but obviously it was a 3DS game. So Kid Icarus, I'd love to see that. Obviously we're getting Star Fox. I'm really happy about that, and to know that the man who started it all is back in control of Star Fox.
And they say that's dropping this year. That's the
it's coming. Yeah, it's coming before Zelda. He promised it would be before Zelda even. So, to know that he's back in charge, because the Star Foxes that people don't like weren't done by Nintendo. Star Fox Assault wasn't done by Nintendo. Star Fox Adventures was rare, and it wasn't really a Star Fox game. It's more like a Zelda type of game. And then what was the DS one? Wasn't done by, I think it was, I can't remember which company did that, but the last great Star Fox game was 64, and that was done by Miyamoto himself. So now that he's back on it, makes me feel really good about that. But yeah, I just want to know what's going on next year. Mostly, can we get that Metroid? Can we get that? And give us some games we don't know nothing about, because going past 2015, we don't know a lot. So reassure me next year.
Well, me myself, I'm looking for Yoshi Yarn, Yoshi Woolly World. Ain't that what it's called?
Yeah, Woolly World.
Yeah, Woolly World. That's one of the games. I really like that game. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all can judge me about that.
That shit gonna be cool, huh?
Yeah. But I'm definitely looking forward to playing that.
Some baby games.
We already know Zelda, and then we talking about Nintendo. We know I want Zelda. I watched Xenoblade Chronicles today. Or was it today or last night? Well, I watched the 24, minute gameplay or whatever breakdown, and that game looks great.
Sure does. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, they really selling me on that. What else I'm looking for?
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Xenoblade.
Oh, Xenoblade. Oh, yeah.
Xenoblade. I'm looking forward to playing Xenoblade. On Microsoft side, I'm hoping they show some Gears, man. I'm looking forward to Gears, man.
Oh yeah, Gears. Forgot about.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Gears. Scalebound, which, like I said, you stole my answer. I want to see what Scalebound really is, because everybody's so hyped for Scalebound, but nobody don't even. Man, that bitch could be a dungeon crawler. We wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's Platinum, man. Platinum hasn't really failed us yet in gamers, so that's why people are hyped about it.
Yeah, so you got Bayonetta, you got the 104 101. Wasn't that Platinum Games too?
Yeah, you can go back to the Devil May Cry series. You can go to Onimusha.
They made a lot of good games.
Okami. They got a lot of good games in their track record. So
they put out a bunch of good games. So Scalebound, I'm definitely looking for that. What was the other game they showed last year? But Microsoft, I'm definitely looking to see what else Microsoft shows this year, other than what they have already shown. When it comes down to Sony, I just want Sony to stop lying, because to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind getting a PlayStation 4, man, but they just haven't been living up to the billing. Another game, Tomb Raider. I definitely want to see some more from Tomb Raider, because that's the game that I'm looking for at the end of the year. I want to say this, but it might sound crazy, because it's probably not going to happen. But I want to see if EA going to bring back NCAA this year, man.
Ain't gonna happen.
I know it probably ain't gonna happen, man. But hey, man, you ain't gotta kill my dream. You ain't gotta kill my dream. They said they'll come back when they're able to start paying players in college. They can pay players. They can give them siphons. You know what I'm saying? Like the Power 5 can get siphons now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they can pay players. So they should be able to use the likenesses and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be playing Joe Montana football on my mobile phone. I ain't buying Madden no more. I tell you that. I'm done with Madden.
You hanging it up on Madden?
I'm about to go get me a Madden 13 on the Wii U and use that gamepad innovation play calling screen on that shit, and that's it. I'm gonna play my old NCAA, man.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I'm looking forward to at E3? Is there anything else that I should be looking forward for? E3, Phantom Dust. I want to see how Phantom Dust is going to play out as well. That's another game. That's the game I was thinking about. Phantom Dust looked at, they didn't really show anything. They just showed a CGI, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a cutscene. So that wasn't nothing major.
I forgot to mention one thing.
What's that?
I don't know if they announced that they were going to show it at E3 or not. I think they are, but I'm not sure. Whatever Nintendo's quality of life thing is, I'm really interested to see what that's about. Because when Nintendo, it's not video game related. It's more along the lines of I guess not really brain age, but that type of software or hardware where it has to do with like personal. Uh, oh, it's really hard to explain. It's about uh, well, it's called quality of life. So it's about like improving your personal life and whatnot, and aspects of that. Like I'm sure some kind of software, some kind of quirky off thing that Nintendo does from time to time, like
You talking
that
about like an
vitality sensor.
armband or something that
Yeah,
this
well,
thing
yeah,
with you?
something along those lines. I think it's gonna be software and hardware based. They showed some glasses and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of, I'm really interested to see what that's about.
Oh, okay. And,
Yeah, I remember a couple. I remember a couple more things real quick. One was that whatever that game was that they showed in that direct or whatever about. Remember T, the dude sitting at the table with the glasses.
Yeah.
They didn't show They didn't show nothing about it. They was just talking about it was coming. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
see more on whatever the hell that is.
yeah.
And if you haven't seen the game called Drawn to Death, like Drawn to Death, it's supposed to be coming out on the PlayStation 4. That shit looks really cool. It's like a high school student or something is like drawing like a comic book in his notebook, and the shit is like the gameplay that you play is the shit that he's drawing comes to life. Like I love the art style of it. It looks really cool. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Hopefully they'll show more about that at E3 and
okay.
put that out this year.
Something else I want to see is how do they integrate the whole Windows 10 into the Xbox? Like I definitely
Mm.
want to see exactly how that's going to work out. And I want to see an actual game that's running on DX12. You get what I'm saying? Something that's fully utilizing DX12 and the cloud at the same time. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah, because it don't mean a whole lot until you can see it being used.
Yeah.
Right.
But that Windows 10 operation system has to be better than whatever the hell it's running on now.
No,
Just saying.
anything is better than
Just saying. Not trying to bash or nothing, but just saying.
What are they
Yeah,
on
man.
now? 8? Aren't they on 8?
I don't know
I
what
don't
that
know. I
is,
don't know
man.
what happened to 9. I
Yeah, they
think they
just
went
jumped
from
over
8 to
9. I
10.
guess.
9
Yeah.
is what's on the Xbox One, and that shit's terrible. So they
Oh
didn't
man.
even call it 9. They just skipped
They're like, man, we can't name this, man. We just gotta go to move
Well,
on,
they've been known to skip
man.
years from time to time, so
Yeah.
that's not
yeah,
new.
yeah.
Yeah, but anything else, fellas? If not, we're gonna go on and close this thing out.
I'm
Anything
good.
else y'all
I'm
want
good,
to add?
man. I'm good.
Mr. T?
No, I think we covered pretty much what we wanted to do. So
All right. Well, go ahead. By the way, Screwface just dropped a video. You know how I do it. I'll put everybody links in the description. Go check out my boy Screwface last video, man. There's some Microsoft bashing, but we're gonna go ahead and let him get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he made a bunch of good points in there, and I agree with a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Damn near the whole video. But go on and check. Make sure you check that out. Mr. T, you know what Mr. T do? He's a Nintendo enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? Wii U fanatic. You know what I'm saying? 3DS lover. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, let's get on up out of here, man. Go ahead and say your outro, Mr. T, so we can go.
all right, fools. It was good to be back on our podcast. I had a lot of fun. Look forward to more, obviously, and go check out my channel if you haven't already. My latest video, the Nintendo Cycle, maybe to get you to thinking about Nintendo and what they do. And I'll see you fools next time.
All right. Screwface.
Yeah, go check out my channel. It's good to be back with the family. I'm enjoying it. I'm back on YouTube. Come check me out. Say good night to the bad guy.
With that being said, this your boy John Doe. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I got my peoples back together. We should stable this thing on out, you know what I'm saying? Because there ain't a whole bunch of bump heads, you know what I'm saying? And we all got good views. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But with that being said, we out of here. Later, people.